We're having our origami workshop, which is a very nice, private, quiet thing, which is what I like about origami. Kasi at its root, it's really a very meditative kind of practice, and it's a lot less stressful than painting, if you ask me. So, to introduce myself, I'm Joy Lara, Joy Cabanos. That's my art name. And I'm a visual artist. I paint traditional paintings. I just had an exhibit with Fernando Sena in a batch of artists with him. So I'm back here at City Kamali, just sharing about origami. And I'm excited to do that because I really think I can go in and out of Tagalog, diba? Yeah. Because I really think origami is a really good creative practice for an artist to have, because it centers us, it helps us focus, concentrate, and it's also just very different from the energy of making a painting. Uh, one would say it's almost mindless. So that's kind of nice kasi nakaka-rest yung utak, which I think we all need, whether we're artists or not. So, what's my kwento? Yeah, origami actually is something that's really, really good for to help keep us centered and I like to use the word rooted, grounded. It feels like yoga to me. In fact, it is yoga on paper. It's folding. So yoga and origami have that same kind of essence. I think that you transform something. So origami will always start with a square piece of paper. Yeah, traditional that you can have plain papers. You can have traditional printed papers. Any paper will do. Even this, if you cut it into a square, can be folded. So it's a very good art for recycling. Back to it, where it's like, oh, but again, it's a very centering practice, and I really would love to share it with other artists. And I know that it's also very important to taking care of our mental well-being. Myself, I said I do have my own history with anxiety, with depression, and I can understand what happens to us when we're spinning in that mindset. And what's interesting about origami is it's very, very gentle practice, and I think that's what we need to do when we're addressing our own mental wellness. We need gentleness. If the world can't provide it, it's good for us to know how to provide it ourselves for ourselves. And origami, I found for myself, has been able to do that. So again, back to the link of origami in yoga. To me, the monkey mind in yoga, there's this word they use, monkey mind, which is your mind just goes everywhere. So yoga is a practice of centering, breathing, para you can step away from your monkey mind. Origami, physically it's the same thing because you're not allowed to be running around multitasking. You can't origami and do other things at the same time. You can't text and origami at the same time, diba? So talagang napipilitan ka to focus. And then after a while, it just kicks in. So for example, if we're going to do one of the things that I was going to teach or I teach in workshops are the very simple models. This is a tulip, very, very simple. It's a flat, there are two kinds of origami models. There are the flat models, which are two-dimensional, which basically this one is. This is a flat one. So you can glue it, you can tape it to the wall. You can, if you make it to a scale that big, you can glue it to a card, but this sort of became a little bit of 3D because you could do this and then just put a flat gloss on top. So there are very, very simple models that can go to different levels. So that's one. And I'm just going to show you how it comes together. This is the leaf. I see I've made another one there. And it basically starts, so okay na, I just wanted to show you how to do one. And I really am excited that if you can follow along to this one, there's a wealth of things you can do from YouTube. Don't be afraid of YouTube. You might just have to find a video that's easy to follow along to. But for the very simple models, there's no reason why you can't try the stuff on YouTube. And I hope that you will be able to experience that quieting, that meditation, that meditative mind. Kasi, part of the fun, kakaalam. So because it puts me in a state where it's so nice to just keep going and going and going and I couldn't stop. So first, the basic shapes are making a triangle, and then making what I call an ice cream cone form. Para siyang ice cream. You guys are visual people, so you can see why I call this ice cream cone form. Now, do not worry about being exact. It's not as important at this stage when you're learning. Accuracy is not as important as being able to follow the direction and being able to fold your paper. So the folds it's always good to make the folds nice and crisp. Usually, mahirap kung ganyan kasi your fingers get tired and the folds are not as sharp as when you use a tool. So pwedeng bone folder if you want to spend the money, pwedeng tablespoon, anything. I found that these junk cards that I get in the mail, mga hotel keys, work very nicely. So back to this is our ice cream cone fold. And put it down in front of me, fold it closed like a book. There you go. Now you can see the basic shape of the leaf has already appeared. Ganyan lang siya. So the next step is to make an even base so that it can stand up. And all you do, and bet you alam mo na what the next step is fold the base horizontally. And it goes like this. A little higher would be good so that if we put a coin, these things have coin weights just to make sure they're steadier, but just so that was a little too low when I folded it first. I want it a little higher, at least half an inch showing, half an inch like that, and then I will fold it in half so that it does this, because this is the flat version. Like I said, if you want it flat, you can just do a 2D version and stick it to a surface. But if you want a 3D version, you just have to fold it in half again. And then do that. Your leaf is done. I hope you get a sense of how simple it actually is. And if you set aside some time, make 10 leaves, you'll have a plot of 10 tulips kaagad, which is great. So there you go. There's the leaf. And then for the flower itself, let's use red. It's much brighter. So let me grab one of those things so that there's the papers, they will be available anywhere, although you could cut your own paper out of anything really. So you could use, as long as it's square, and the traditional size is 6 inches by 6 inches. A 6-inch paper, if you do this model, will give you something this big. So you have to use an 8.5-inch square. So for this particular model, if you use this kind of paper for the flower, you need this kind of paper for the leaf. And then that's also, if you scale down, then proportional you can. But again, the flower will start from a triangle. So we fold the triangle like that. And then you can already see how, because it's such a simple model, you can see how this tulip is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to identify the center, meaning I fold it over again and then just put a mark there for my reference. And then that center is going to be this. That's where your petal will come out. So I will just make a pleasing shape to me. I kind of like the petal to be here. You could do it up there. You could make it really long and wide. It depends on where you want it. I like it medyo somewhere in the middle. and then I put my finger there as a center so I don't fold beyond, and then I try to make it as symmetrical as I can. Again, nobody's going to come look at your work with a magnifying glass to check the symmetry, so don't worry about it. There's a fallacy that people think you have to be exact, you have to be perfect in origami. That's not true. Because even with a crane, there are a lot of you will never see perfectly folded paper. And if you do, these people have used tools like rulers and tweezers and things like that. It's not necessary. I mean, for our own personal enjoyment, we don't have to be perfect. So it's interesting because for me, that's something that I can apply to art and in life also, diba?
Yeah.
So here, kita mo na. That's it already. You have your basic bloom. So the next step is just to give the cup shape of the tulip, meaning you fold that one back. And then, ano mo na lang, try to make it as matching as possible. And if it doesn't match, well, that's fine. If it bothers you, change it. Yeah. So that's roughly, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That looks nice.
Nice.
And then, now for paper as big as this, when you're working with smaller paper, this fold should hold. It'll hold easily. But big paper, it's still flopping about a little bit, so you can add another tiny fold at the base. Now let me talk about scissors in origami, because the purists will say this is not allowed, it's not origami. And my thought about that is to let them say what they want to say. It doesn't bother me. I think if people cannot learn the folds that they will allow them to attach this tulip head to the leaf, then just use scissors. Because the purpose of origami here really is to make ourselves feel relaxed and feel good, right? So kung mas stressful pa yung trying to master, what do you call these, the reverse folds required, because there is a way. There is another tulip blossom where you do an inside reverse fold so that you can put the leaf in between the flower. And that's for another video or another workshop. But for now, we're doing this. Just try to stiffen up the edge of the leaf like that. Now don't worry about this because you're going to put it inside the flower so you can see it. There. So that's our simple tulip. And then, one of the nice cheats I read about is that people would put coins at the bottom to weight it down. There you go. Fun?
Cool.
So I hope you learned a little something from that quick little video, and don't be discouraged. Just look for things to fold on YouTube. If I'm not around to run a workshop, Lucille can. Diba, Lucille? And then this again is the definition of what this is the symbol of origami in many people's minds. This is the origami crane, which is a really nice symbol for peace. And we can do let's just make a separate video for that one. But we can do this in another video. Now, just one more thing about the tulip. What's really cute is you notice the tulip shape. For origami, sorry, I'm just gonna some basic folds. You are already moving quickly to other designs. You can, a basic fold, you can do a lot with it to come up with something else. Now, here's the basic tulip, which we did, right? Kung baliktarin mo yan, anong nakikita mo?
Dog?
Anybody?
Dog?
Yes.
Like
So,
it has
look at
ears.
this. So that's a tulip. So a basic, because origami is abstraction. It puts things down to very basic shapes. There's your dog. And to do this little doggy, you just take your tulip shape, give it a snout, which means you put it up like that. See? Up and then down. cute. And then you can just put eyes, color the nose. And then for the body, let me grab one of those smaller paper. Abstraction. And the way this happens is you fold a triangle. There you go. And then you make the shape of the tail, right? So there you go. Now, the difference between, that's too, there. Difference between this and that is this only is hanging outside, so your dog won't stand. You have to reverse the fold, meaning, see those fold lines there? If you open up your paper and just press it down there, the folds are going to reverse by themselves. So you close this with the paper dots and you sort of hinge, you crease it. There you go. It's got a little body of a dog with a tail. And here you go. Oh, let me give you. So again, this is a tulip. This was a tulip, but if I'm going to make it into a dog, then I do this. Simple now. There you go. So cute. Iba pala yung kulay. There you go. And that's that. Cute.